I'm Molly Hunter, and I'm here with Dr. David Benson, the superintendent of the Cedar Rapids Community School District, and I'm with the Washington High School Surveyor. So the first question, you've been with the district through some trying times, including the aftermath of both the 2008 recession and the 2008 flood. Even though that's several years behind us now, how do you hope the district continues to rebuild and improve?
Well, I'm looking for the Highway 100 project and the housing and Tower Terrace Road project to really rejuvenate the district over time. It's going to add a lot of new housing, a lot of new students, and we're looking forward to great things in Cedar Rapids.
Recent district-wide changes include transitioning to a semester schedule as well as switching from hours to days. What do you feel are the pros and cons for the students and teachers affected by those changes?
Well, obviously the con is you lose the familiar. You're familiar with the trimester schedule, or you have your classes as an educator set up on that schedule. So the biggest con, of course, is everybody has to change, and teachers have to restructure. Students have to get used to a new system, a different system. The biggest advantage is that we can better coordinate our calendar under the hours system, which gives us some flexibility to the community college, to other post-secondary schools, so that students can have more flexibility in their schedules. Trimesters and semesters didn't work very well for students who were taking courses, say, at the regional center here that community college had just opened up a year ago. So I'm hopeful that by going to semesters, the student body will gain a positive advantage in that they can compete for placement in those kinds of educational opportunities along with their peers from other schools that are already on semesters.
During your time as superintendent, the district has instituted several programs that have to do with transitioning from a traditional educational setting to more alternative learning approaches, such as the Iowa Big program for high school students. How important do you feel it is to have those programs present, and do you hope more opportunities like them are made available after you're gone?
Well, absolutely. I think this is the wave of the future. I've spent the better part of my career trying to perfect the system that we have and improve the traditional system. Things like adding elementary foreign language, so that we can add middle school foreign language, so that ultimately we beef up the foreign language offerings at our comprehensive high schools. That's what I call a perfection of the existing system. That's a change that helps the existing system do better. Now, Iowa Big, the Roosevelt option, the STEAM magnet, science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math that we're going to start next year at Johnson Elementary. These are all trying to go to what I consider the issue of parent and student choice. I believe parents will make good decisions for their children given a certain degree of choice. That choice may be the traditional educational model, which we need to perfect and continue to work on and make that as strong as possible. But there also are other choices out there, and if we present those choices, I think people will go to those that believe that's appropriate for their child. Obviously, at the high school level, student interest becomes a critical issue, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't have an interest in journalism. So the Iowa Big project is being driven out of student interest so that we can meet the needs of students at a different place in their educational environment that's not bound to the four walls of a traditional classroom.
How would you say your past experiences as a teacher and administrator have influenced your role as superintendent in Cedar Rapids?
Well, everything builds and everything influences. All your past experiences come into play in your role. This is a culminating superintendency for me. I'm going to retire. So everything that I have experience has built to this point. I've been an educator, either a teacher or an administrator in Missouri and Kansas and Iowa through my career. And in all of those experiences, I've sought to be a lifelong learner, to learn from the experiences I had, to gain knowledge, and then to apply that knowledge in new situations. I hope that's worked. You know, it depends, I guess. There's an old saying I use: "What you see depends on where you sit."
What projects and policies that you've had that you've been part of here in Iowa are you most proud of?
Well, I think the issues that I faced when I came, flood recovery and the Great Recession, are two issues. We've weathered the Great Recession and are now have turned the corner and have much better state and federal, national economics, even internationally. But we've done that without dramatic draconian cuts. The fine arts program has been strong for a number of years, and we have kept it strong, so we haven't gone in, and the fine and performing and visual and physical arts have been supported through this process. So I'm pleased with that. We are setting records with our AP participation. Jefferson's really coming along with that process and making great strides in their AP program. So I think all of those are positive issues. You're in the district office, the Education, Learning, and Support Center. That's a facility that was built with flood recovery money and silo dollars, which is our sales tax infrastructure. I'm very pleased that we were able to do this building and not adversely affect the property tax rate. There's no property tax dollars in this building. This was built on sales tax revenue and FEMA, federal emergency management dollars. So at a time of great economic need, we were able to pump many millions of dollars into the local economy without taking out any dollars through property tax raise. But I guess in closing on this question, in retrospect, I'm most proud of the relationships that we have. The board, superintendent relationships are positive. The board, faculty and staff relationships are positive. My relationship with our Teachers Association and our teachers in general are strong from my perspective. You might find somebody that would disagree with that. So that relationship is important. In my themes of my superintendency, I believe in academics, in safety, and in public service. And we have a strong academic program, even though we've weathered some difficulty. We have improved safety by virtual entries or by electronic entries and other measures. And we've had strong community support and community service. So all of those things have been important to me.
And finally, do you have any other thoughts that you want to add or anything else you want to say?
That's been a great career. I'm looking forward to finishing the next 5 or so months very strong. I will not miss inclement weather calls. Yeah. Those early calls in the morning when you have to get up as superintendent and consult with your colleagues and find out what we can do with a reasonable margin of safety for everybody. I won't miss that, but I've had great relationships with my boards of education that I've served, and the people that I've worked with are wonderful people. In this business, we work primarily all with university educated people that are essentially volunteers. They have the market skills. They could go elsewhere and do other things, yet they are educators, whether that's administrators or teachers. And I will really miss the challenge of mentally of working with such fine people.
Thank you.